morning, Brooklyn class. Long time no see. Welcome back to Homeschool with Carly and happy 4th of July. So today I figured we would start off our week with a really fun craft. Since it is really warm out and nice, we are going to make cherry blossom trees. But this is going to be a very different style of crafting than you're used to. So let's start listing our supplies that you will need. First, you're going to need a plain white piece of paper. Next, you will need an array of paint, black, red, and white. Okay? And a paintbrush, a bundle of Q-tips, a hair tie or rubber band, and a dish to place your paint in. Okay? So let's begin. First thing you're going to want to do is place that paint in the dish if you haven't already, and grab those Q-tips and that rubber band or hair tie, and you're going to make a bundle in your hand of the Q-tips, okay? And then take that hair tie or rubber band and place it around them nice and tight, okay? So once you have that bundle, you're going to tap it on the table, okay? That way, all of the Q-tips are nice and flat and even because we are going to use them to paint. You heard that right. So now what we're going to do is place that piece of paper in front of you, okay? Grab that dish with the paint, and we are going to begin. So the first thing you're going to do is grab that bundle. Make sure it's nice and tight. Remember, tap it on the table, okay? We want the tips to be flat and even. So right now I can see that I have one tip right in the back that's not quite even, so I'm going to push that down, okay? And we're going to dip it in the red paint, okay? Just a nice little dab, so all of the tips are nice and red. And then dip a little bit into the white, and it's totally okay to mix colors, all right? So now we have created this nice pink color, okay? We mixed a little bit of red and a little bit of white, and now we created this pink color, okay? So we are going to create that top part of the tree with the leaves, okay? So you're going to want to grab that piece of paper and just start dabbing, okay? And making a bunch of different dots all over the paper, just like that, at the top part of one of your pieces of paper. So you can basically create an oval shape with the dots, okay? So I'm going to show you. So we have a nice little oval at the top of the paper. Now, this is cool. So what we're gonna do is take that bundle, all right? Now, if you remember, on the dish, we have pink, which we used to create this. Now we're gonna dab back in that red, okay? So I'm gonna grab that red, all right? So I'm nice and dipped, all right? And we're gonna go over this in some areas to give it some depth, okay? So by doing this, you can see that I've mixed some red here and then we have pink all over. So when you dab in the red, what you're doing is you're creating a shadow effect, okay? So part of our tree is going to have darker spots than over here, right? This is pretty cool. So now, as we all know, flowers and leaves fall. So we're going to create some pink dots. We're going to dip right back into that pink right at the top, okay? We're going to dip into that pink and we're going to put dots all along the bottom of the paper, okay? This is really fun. So we have some pink dots down here and a mixture of pink and red up here. If you'd like, you can add some red to the bottom. Your choice, okay? Now, as we mentioned before, I also know that before they hit the ground, there's some in the air. So we're gonna dip right back into that pink, okay? Get a good amount on our Q-tips. And I'm going to put some in the air on the sides, okay, over there. Just a couple, nothing too crazy. So, as you can see, I have some on the sides, I have some on the bottom, and a nice oval shape that's mixed with dark red and pink in the oval shape, okay? Now, we are going to put this down, okay, and we're going to grab that paintbrush, all right, and some black paint, because now we are going to create the branches and the tree trunk. So, you may be thinking, why are we going to use black paint versus a brown color, right? Because when you look outside at a tree, the tree trunk is usually a grayish brown color, right? Well, this black tone is going to really pop with these colors. It's going to be a very interesting effect. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take our paintbrush and we're going to dip it into that black color, okay? Get a good amount on there. And we are going to create the tree trunk, all right? So the trunk goes from the very bottom of the tree right here, of the leaves, and goes all the way down to the ground, okay? So you're just going to create a nice line that goes down, all right? And you can make it as wide as you'd like, because remember, a tree trunk is really big. So I'm going to start by making a nice straight line that goes all the way down to the ground, okay? Now, for my tree, I think I like the way it looks thin, but you can make your trunk as wide as you want. Now, width goes this way, okay? So you might want to add some width to that tree, but I really, really like the way this looks. Now, we are going to create those branches. Now, branches are what hold these little flowers or leaves on. So remember, branches just go way up into the tree leaves. Now, there's no specific way you have to do branches, because when you look up at a tree, there are millions and millions of branches, and they go all different directions. So for starters, I'm going to put 3, one this way, one up, and one a little bit the other way. All right, so I'm going to dip into that black paint again, get a nice amount on your brush, and I'm going to make some branches. And don't forget, the branches have to touch the tree trunk, okay? So I'm going to show you what I have, right? So that's what I have so far. But remember, branches also have teeny, tiny little branches that come off. So I'm going to add a couple of those. Dip back into that black paint and add a couple more sticking off, and I will show you exactly what I'm doing. So, as you can see, I'm adding these tiny little branches that come off the big branches. So I'm going to do a couple more on here and here. All right? I bet your tree is coming out real nice. And if you want, you can send them to me and show me what your tree looks like. And I'd love to hear how you are doing in the comments below. So now, look at our cherry blossom tree. This is really cool. Now, your choice, but trees are really big. And if you want to get a really cool effect of how big this tree is, you can add some people down here. Now, to make a person is quite easy. So let me show you. So, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to dip back into that black paint. Now, we're using black because we're keeping it simple, all right? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make a dot, 2 dots, okay? So 1 dot here and 1 dot next to it. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So this dot is essentially going to be a head of a person, okay? And I'm going to do 2 people. So I have 1 dot here and 1 dot here. okay? And one is taller than the other because I'm going to have two people and one person is going to be taller than the other. The next thing you do, so easy, is draw a line down from the head and you have two people. And it's super simple and you don't have to go crazy with it because this is just to show you something far away. Now, you could put more depth into your people, but I like it simple because then it looks like two people standing there. And if you wanted to add hand holding, all you have to do is put a V in the center of them. So let's do that. Let's make this even more special, right? So I'm going to put two lines holding hands, so just a V in the center. And it's so easy to do. Now, look at our people. How awesome is this painting? It looks like it could be in a museum, and it was so easy to do. And all you really did was use Q-tips, and nobody has to know. So awesome. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I will see all of you Tuesday.